Have you ever wondered if you are more focused on being recognized or on actually doing something meaningful? Many people spend their lives chasing status, titles, and recognition, but does it really matter? Today, we are going to talk about the powerful choice between being or doing through the story of a man who revolutionized aerial combat, but who few know about. Welcome to the Chewing Books channel. Here we chew on incredible book ideas to transform deep concepts into everyday practices. We will explore another chapter of the book, Ego is Your Enemy, entitled To Be or To Do. And we will delve into its central ideas and discover how to introduce its examples into our practical lives. For everything you aspire to, ego is your enemy. In the 1950s, as the world was still digesting the lessons of World War II, a young pilot in the United States Air Force was beginning to transform the way we understand combat. His name was John Boyd, and he was not just a pilot, he was a natural strategist, someone who saw patterns that others could not see. He realized something crucial. War was not just about weapons, but about the mind and the speed of decision. Boyd gained fame for a daring challenge. Any pilot who could defeat him in less than 40 seconds in a simulated dogfight would take home $40. But no one ever did. And what was his secret? The speed of adaptation. And thus was born the OODA Loop, a revolutionary decision-making model that changed not only dogfighting, but also business, politics, and even sports. The OODA Loop consists of 4 fundamental phases. Observe, gather information from the environment, enemy movements, battlefield conditions, external factors. Orient, process this information based on past experience, culture, training, and intuition. Decide, quickly choose the best course of action. Act, execute the decision, and immediately begin the cycle again. Boyd realized that whoever could go through this cycle faster than the enemy would have an overwhelming advantage. In the Korean War, American pilots flew the nimble F-86 Sabres, while the Chinese and North Koreans used the faster MiG-15s. On paper, the MiG-15 was superior in speed and climb power. But American pilots won most of the fights. Why? Because they followed a faster OODA loop. They quickly observed the enemy's movements. They oriented themselves based on their experience and technological superiority in radar. They decided before the enemy could. They acted before the enemy could react. Boyd demonstrated that war was a game of cognitive speed, not just brute force. Today, this idea extends beyond fighter jets. The OODA Loop is used by special forces, business leaders, and even elite athletes. But here's Boyd's big lesson. OODA isn't just about being fast. It's about being unpredictable. If you can adapt faster than your opponents, they will become disoriented, insecure, and paralyzed. Over time, Boyd realized that his philosophy went far beyond aerial combat. Once, before a group of young officers, he issued a challenge. You can choose to be somebody or do something. Being somebody meant following the rules, seeking promotions, and pleasing superiors. Doing something meant challenging the system, innovating, and truly making an impact. But here's the price. Those who choose to do may never receive recognition. Boyd chose to do. He could have been a decorated general, but he chose to change the future of warfare. What about you? Will you seek status or impact? Our ego has a subtle and dangerous trick. It convinces us that appearing successful is the same as being successful. It whispers that planning, talking about ideas, and receiving applause are just as valuable as real effort and quiet achievement. Think about it. How many times do we see people sharing their grand plans on social media, but never executing them? Or professionals who spend more time in conferences and meetings than they do actually working? Our ego wants rewards before the work is even done. It wants praise, titles, recognition, and it settles for nothing more than that without giving anything in return. The problem? When we prioritize status over achievement, we sacrifice our true growth. And ironically, the more we seek external validation, the emptier we feel. Another classic example is the story of Alexander the Great and Diogenes. Alexander conquered vast empires and believed himself to be the most powerful man in the world. One day, he met Diogenes, a philosopher who lived with the bare minimum. Filled with ego, Alexander asked, "Diogenes, I am the most powerful man on earth. What can I do for you?" Diogenes calmly replied, "Get out of my way, you're blocking my sun." This blunt response exposed a truth. While Alexander was chasing glory and conquest, Diogenes was already free. He needed nothing more. And here is the big question. Are you after real conquest or just fleeting recognition? If you're always looking for the next title, the next promotion, or the next public recognition, you may be in the trap of being. But if you're focused on what you're doing, the impact of your work, and your growth, then you're on the path to doing. Remember, status and accolades don't sustain anyone in the long run. What really matters is the work done, not the appearance of success. In today's fast-paced world, decision-making isn't just about intelligence. It's about adapting quickly and effectively. John Boyd developed the OODA, Observe, Orient, Decide, Act loop for aerial combat. But his genius was to realize that this model doesn't just apply to warfare. It's a universal model for strategic thinking and continuous evolution. Now, let's turn this strategy into a practical tool for your everyday life. The OODA Logbook for Goals and Continuous Monitoring. Step 1. Observe. Reality analysis. The first phase of the OODA loop is observing. In the context of your personal life, this means collecting information about your progress, your challenges, and your surroundings. Daily practice. At the beginning and end of the day, take 5 minutes to record what significant events happened, what obstacles arose, what did you learn about yourself and the world. This practice prevents you from living on autopilot and allows you to see hidden patterns in your routine. Step 2. Orient. Processing and adjusting perspective. This is the most important phase of the OODA loop. Orientation means interpreting the information you gather and adjusting your beliefs and strategies. Key questions. Am I focused on doing or on appearing busy? Is there anything I am ignoring or avoiding? How might my culture, experiences, and biases be distorting my perception? This step is essential because without proper orientation, all subsequent decisions and actions will be ineffective. Step 3. Decide. Reality-based choice. Now that you have the information and have adjusted your mindset, it's time to decide what to do. Daily practice. Establish 3 concrete actions that will make a difference in your day. The actions should be specific, achievable, and focused on real impact. Use the rule, if I repeat this action every day for a year, what will the result be? Remember, success is not about speed, it's about consistency in the right direction. Step 4. Take action. Strategic execution. The final stage of the OODA loop is to take action, but not randomly. Boyd emphasized that action should be quick, avoid procrastination, do it now. Surprising, break patterns, avoid predictability. Iterative, test, evaluate, and adjust constantly. Real-life example. If you have a big project, instead of waiting for inspiration, create daily micro-actions. A writer doesn't write a book all at once, he or she writes every day. The key here is to understand that each action generates a new OODA loop. You act, observe the results, reorient your strategy, and act again, constantly evolving. Continuous monitoring, adapting in real time. Review your OODA loop weekly. What's working? What needs to be adjusted? How can I make my actions more efficient? Avoid the trap of false productivity. Ask yourself, am I actually making progress or just appearing busy? Compare your actions to your long-term goals. John Boyd said, "He who adapts the quickest wins." But winning doesn't mean defeating others. It means defeating yourself, evolving daily, and becoming more efficient, resilient, and aware. Now you have a powerful tool for this, the OODA Journal. What are you going to do today to become better than you were yesterday? Throughout history, true achievers have always faced a choice, to be or to do. John Boyd was never promoted to general, but his military strategy is still used in combat. Charles Darwin worked for decades in silence before changing science forever. Viktor Frankl developed his philosophy of meaning and resilience in concentration camps. They didn't wait for applause, they just did. But what about you? When no one is watching, when the spotlight isn't on you? Will you still dedicate yourself to your purpose? The world may ignore your efforts today. Your work may be dismissed, as it was with the Confederacy of Dunces, which only received recognition after the author's death. But does that mean it wasn't worth it? No. The value is in the process, in the construction, in the silent dedication. Your efforts don't need applause to be legitimate. Your success lies not in the recognition, but in the satisfaction of knowing that you did your best. Ego wants prizes. Greatness seeks purpose. So the ultimate question is, do you want to be someone or do something? And so we finish another chapter of the book, Ego is the Enemy, by Ryan Holiday, reflecting on the idea of being and doing, and how to relentlessly apply action not only in our tasks, but also aiming to confront that which can be so sensitive to us, the ego. Welcome to Chewing Books. Here we chew on incredible book ideas to transform deep concepts into life practices. If this video made sense to you, leave a like, subscribe, and share this idea. Until next time.